Welcome to the Overland Sea podcast. Today we are talking about the Burnley away game. Andrew, your thoughts quickly going into that game, and what did you think of the performance and the result?
Going into the game, we needed a win. Vitally important with the games we've got coming up to get the win against a team that has been struggling. So, very pleased to get the win. I think the level of the performance was also... It showed an improvement on the previous games, which is what we're after at this stage. We're not the finished article. We need to see improvement week after week. And I think, again, it was difficult to see anyone that played terribly, but you can see that there's a few players that can go up a few levels. One exception of that was Sterling, who was unbelievable in that game. I think he got 2 assists and won the penalty that technically counts as assists for fantasy football. I'm just played out of his skin. The right back had no idea what was going on. The substitute right back had absolutely no idea what to do either. So fingers crossed he can keep that going and work his way back into the England team, because I think how he's played for the majority of the start of this season, he has deserved his place back in that England team.
I was gonna bring that up today because it has been a talking point. I think not even with the international break we've had now, but even the previous one, there were pundits saying he should be in. And the last one, I wasn't so sure. I was surprised that he didn't get the call up this time round, especially after that Burnley performance. Because whatever he ate, I don't know if it's his Shreddies or his Weetabix or it was the meal he had the night before, whatever the fuck it was, he needs to keep eating that shit, because I don't think I've ever seen him play like that in a Chelsea shirt. Now, don't get me wrong, I know it's Burnley and we should be winning, but I thought that was a very good performance by the team and arguably his best performance ever, if I'm brutally honest, for us. But just going back to your point quickly before we talk more about the game, if you were going to put him in the squad, and I'm still 50-50 on it, my question is this: who do you drop?
The England squad?
Yeah.
I think that is where Southgate has covered himself a little bit. There's not many players in there that don't deserve to be in there. And especially at winger, we do have an embarrassment of riches at winger. So it is difficult. I don't think Rashford's playing at club level as well as Sterling is playing. I think to be fair, I don't think there's many. I think Jared Bowen has had a good season so far. I think Grealish has had a good season for a good club, but
I don't think Grealish has done nothing this year.
Exactly. So I don't think he's been electric, but he's been okay for a very good team that are playing very well.
He's barely played. I had him in my fancy league. I was like, oh, he's going to play. Fuck all. Nothing. 1 point a game if I'm lucky. I know he was injured for a little bit, but no.
It's not like Grealish was really playing for England either. Jared Bowen, I think, deserves a shout. Has played well. Doesn't really get into the actual starting 11 for England. I probably won't.
No, but I agree. He deserves the opportunity to see what he can do on the international level.
Yeah,
what he's done for West Ham for the last couple of seasons, absolutely.
Yeah, and it might get to a point where it doesn't translate for England, and we need someone that's more direct than him. But he deserves a chance. I think
Foden was playing.
I don't think there's any need for Eddie
Nketiah. Foden was brilliant against Italy.
Yeah, and he could play in behind the striker rather than out wide as well if you want to play that. I don't think there's any need for Eddie Nketiah to be in the squad. I don't think it adds anything. I don't think he's ever getting on the pitch in a competitive game.
Well, yeah, but he's also a striker, and we both said previously that Sterling is not a striker. So
he's not a striker, but if you've got Kane and Ollie Watkins, I don't think you need 3 strikers when you play one.
maybe not for friendlies, but I think when they with these internationals, they're always looking at it as a squad for a tournament, aren't they? You'd think. So,
But at the same time, if Callum Wilson's fit, I think he goes. I'd have Ivan Toney if he's fit over Eddie Nketiah. So
no, there are options, but Ivan Toney suspended. Who was the other one you said?
Callum Wilson.
Thank you. I had Watkins in my head. I knew that was wrong. Callum Wilson's injured, standard. So I do get what you're saying.
But why? What I don't understand is why give your fifth, sixth option a place in the squad of a certain position, a place in the squad.
We didn't even play
over someone that effectively, if you look at specifically the left wing, you've got Saka, you've got Grealish, you've got maybe you put Foden over there and you play someone on the right. But
no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I think Sterling's close to the level of the other players than Eddie Nketiah is.
Maybe I think it's probably more. I'm agreeing with you, but I think it's probably more for the experience. Being around that type of camp.
But at the same time, when we're putting fucking Hendo in the team, and that can
only
be for experience. So
don't want to hear it. I can't stand him. I can't do it.
So to not put Sterling in the team, but to put Hendo when you've got James Ward-Prowse left at home that fundamentally deserves to be at least give him a chance.
I don't know what
doesn't really make sense to me
to get a call up. I really don't.
No.
Mental. Anyway, we got a bit sidetracked there. Also, actually, as we're talking about England, how fucking good was Bellingham? He's unbelievable. Incredible. I've never wanted a Real Madrid shirt in my life. I mean, I've been a Zidane fan for years. They've had some great players. I've always been a Barcelona fan over the two. And I can't help but want a Real Madrid Bellingham shirt now. Well, incredible. So, yeah, I mean, man of the match.
Sterling.
Easy.
There's no conversation there.
There's no conversation about that. Excuse me. I thought we played really well. I genuinely thought that there was a lot more cohesion going on within the team. I think the players started to really kind of trust the other players around them, especially when we didn't have the ball in terms of responsibilities, positioning. That side of it's really starting to come through now, which is a massive plus, especially with some of the injuries that we've had and that were still going on. But yeah, I couldn't fault. I was worried when I saw it came up going 1-0. I was like, fuck off, no. And then we got a bit lucky with an own goal. Our first goal was an own goal. So you go, okay. And then all of a sudden, once we got that penalty, I mean, we built up to it. But as soon as we got that second goal, I think we were unstoppable. They didn't look like scoring in the second half.
I think that's our problem, is that we seem to just concede a goal randomly, almost against the run of play. And then the other team just has something to fight for. And they've always got the opportunity to counter-attack. And I think that's where we've struggled this season and probably last season, is not getting that first goal and being able to then build on that because the other team has to come out and do something.
Agreed, yeah.
So we do need to nip that in the bud in some way. But again, I don't think we did anything wrong. I don't think we were poor defensively. They scored a good goal. Potentially there was a mistake in there somewhere. But I think we just get punished every time we make a mistake rather than... And we're not punishing other teams every time they make a mistake. So
I also think that we're... I know what I'm trying to say is I think that part of the reason that we have been, and I reckon other fans have been, a little bit more judgmental about the conceding goals, especially when we're not scoring. Let's face it, when we weren't scoring, is we remember not that long ago that we used to be the best defensive side in the league. And if we weren't the best defensive side in the league by end of the season, we were second. We weren't far off it. We were really hard to break down and score against. And I think that's probably in the back of a lot of fans' minds. But
I'm not sure it
we weren't
is.
scoring.
I think the not scoring is more of the problem. In terms of when you're not scoring, you need to be tight at the back, and we're not tight enough at the back. And I think it is generally whenever we make a mistake, there's a goal to it afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So it's noticeable that mistakes there and we've been punished.
It's incredible. We've said it before. Amount of times we play a team, you look at their shots on target, and then you're going, "Oh, well, that's how much they beat us by." It's.
Well, that's how many goals they scored, and you're like,
yeah, it's unbelievable. Sometimes you just like,
and then you look at it, you look at the shot, and you go, Sanchez hasn't done a lot wrong there.
No,
that was just a great shot.
Yeah,
but we've made one small mistake, and we've been absolutely punished for it.
What I mean,
there's not much you can do in that situation.
No, I completely agree. I don't think there was a worse performer on the pitch.
I would feel disingenuous giving someone a worse performer after that. I don't think everyone was perfect, but everyone was good enough to not be a worse performer.
Best we've played this season?
It's certainly up there. It's difficult because I think we've had more dominant performances over teams, but we've transitioned into, which is what I wanted, so I'm not complaining at all.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I know where he's going with this. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not complaining at all, but it's difficult to compare where we've been dominant. We've had a lot of chances. The other teams have nothing. To a Burnley game where I'm not even sure that we had the most possession in that game. I'd much prefer how we played against Burnley, where we didn't focus on possession. We focused on chance creation and attacking. And that's why I think Sterling played really well, was he was making these attacking runs, trying to take his man on, trying to create space. And personally, I do think it's probably the best, even though the stats probably don't show that.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me with Sterling, he was a lot more direct this time round. I think it's the best way to say it. Like, he was genuinely trying to run past players and cut inside. And I think he finally went up those gears that we've been talking about. And I think I said it in the last pre-game or the pre-game before that, where I said, like, hopefully now that the team started to move a bit more, when Cole Palmer started coming in and, Gallagher was making these runs, and other players were as well, that you kind of hope that would then elevate Sterling to do the same, whether it's make a run or be more positive moving forward with the ball. And I think that's exactly what he was against Burnley. Like, he was trying to actually go past players, use his pace. He was mixing things up by cutting inside, but he kept it simple. Like, he didn't try to overcomplicate anything. And he didn't hold the ball up. He didn't slow the game down for once, which was very nice to see. Wicked. So, anything else that you would like to add to the post-game for Burnley?
Keep it up. I want more of the same. I don't know if they're watching the podcast and they're doing what I'm saying, but
looking at the views, I don't think they are.
Either me and Poch have the same ideas of what we need to be doing, or he's watching the podcast. He's one of the 3 listeners / watchers. But more of the same.
Yeah, I
We're
could just,
progressing. It's going
I could
well.
just imagine it now. Oh, see, little Sharky. He knows. He knows.
Yeah,
boys,
yeah.
boys.
I
Vamos.
want to shout at the next press conference. Like, you need. I'm watching this. You need to be watching this as well.
Oh,
I'm taking all my ideas from this guy, but more of the same, more directness, more attacking intent. It's going well.
but especially as we've got some pretty trickier games coming up over the next month and a half. So
We do indeed. Starting with this weekend.
yes,
On that bombshell,
yes.
like, follow, subscribe, notification bell, follow us on Twitter. We don't really post yet, but we'll get there.
So we haven't posted
Instagram again.
or
also,
so we do.
We'll get there. You can tell that's my department. But we move. It'll happen. I'll be at the Arsenal game this weekend. There'll be some pictures going out. Maybe I'll send a tweet out on your thoughts of the team, or 2.5 of you.
Send out your starting 11.
Yeah, stick in the comment.
First tweet right there.
Chuck it on Twitter.
Score prediction. Do you know what I mean? Done.
Is this feedback for me, or are you asking for fans to do?
No, I'm saying to you, like, you could put your score.
You want me to do this rather than the fan? I see. I was trying to get the fan engagement going.
Well,
rather
if you
than
start it, they can
constructive
comment.
feedback. Yeah, fine. Yeah, fine. You'll see my starting 11 in Twitter.
Well,
right.
I look forward to seeing that when I'm in Edinburgh, so I will keep an eye out for it.
So you're not going to the game?
No, mate. Me and Ronnie are going away for a week.
Pathetic.
I told you this ages ago. Hey, we're allowed a holiday.
Nope. You haven't got any fucking money.
It was pre-booked.
Right, okay, well, that'll just know.
Yeah.
Well, the last 5 minutes is getting cut out, so...
No, I'm leaving it in, so it's absolutely fine.
Well, I've sworn at the camera now, so you can't leave that in because we'll get banned, but...
Oh, fine, I'll have to work my editing skills because this is my department. So,
it is.
On that note, thank you
if you get the fucking graphics in, that'd be great.
All right. Stay tuned for the pre-Arsenal game. Thank you for watching.